Hi, I've been reading this book. It's called Pronoia, and I want to show it to you because if you like what I share about it, this is maroon colored. I think the first version was blue. This is the revised and expanded edition, which has a lot more material than the original one. It's very contemporary spirituality, and that's part of what I'm interested in exploring. Some people use the term New Age, but I think that's too broad of a term to really mean that much these days. What I'm interested in is exploring concepts that are more recent than thousands of years, which a lot of traditional religions are. And there's great things to be taken from these religions, but I'm interested in new ideas. The idea of pronoia, the word was supposedly created by a member of the Grateful Dead as an opposite of paranoia. And there's a subtitle, I don't know if it's a technical, says is the antidote for paranoia, is the subtitle. It also says on the cover, how the whole world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. And when I saw about this book online, Rob Brezsny, you may know his column, Free Will Astrology, which appears in a lot of alternative newspapers. When I lived in Phoenix, the magazine was called New Times that carried his work, and he is also a very prolific writer. And he shares about his own life in this book as well. And when I read somewhere online about this concept of the universe conspiring to help you as a major theme of this book, optimism is another major theme, and not in a naive kind of way, but recognizing that you can have a totally horrible experience here, but you can also stay focused on what is positive and trust that the universe is trying to help you. So this sounded very appealing to me, and I wanted to check it out, and I've really been enjoying it. I'm this far through. It's my little bookmark, and I wanted to share about it. I've wanted to share about it for the last week or so, actually, and I wanted to share that I believe that people interested in spirituality oftentimes have some form of unconscious resistance to the idea that the universe is out to help them. If they believe that life is ultimately suffering and that life is a process of decay, or that there's a God that's judging you, making sure you do everything just the right way, or you're going to be punished for eternity. It takes some deprogramming to get into another way of thinking about how the universe really works. Now, I believe that boundaries are still necessary, because even if you have an optimistic viewpoint, there could be people whose ego is so detrimental to your well-being that it's best to not have them in your life while they're figuring things out, while they're working out their stuff. So just because you see the universe as helping you, it could, that doesn't mean necessarily that everybody you run into in your life is there for a positive, growing experience, but they could be there to teach you about setting boundaries, because I'm going off, away from what the book is talking about, at least what I've read so far, into my own thoughts. But I believe that in spiritual evolution, the yang to the yin of forgiveness and love, the yang is boundary setting and making sure that you can take care of yourself. So, not becoming dependent on others, and just being able to meet your basic needs and love yourself as a individual. So if you are running into people that are negative in your life, it might be related to your childhood, other experiences from your past that you need to deal with and become more conscious of, and so forth. And set boundaries and say no and, do those kind of things. And that's part of how you heal. But as a whole, I believe that there is a underlying force of guidance. It expresses itself through synchronicities, and it expresses itself through your inner voice. It can express itself through dreams that give you deeper insights. A lot of people, myself included, feel clear when they first awake. That could be when some powerful information kind of breaks through into your conscious awareness. And so all of this guidance, it's very mystical and very, very hard to explain logically, but it's very powerful. And it's all trying to move you towards your peace and your happiness. And that's a wonderful way to live. Now, if you have a lot of people in your life that are pretty much, dominated by ego, which is a common state of being for humanity at this time, you might project onto the universe, onto God and so forth, the same qualities that a lot of the people in your life have, which is they have agendas, they can be selfish, not have your best interest in mind, not have your growth in mind, and that kind of thing. And it can feel like maybe that's what the universe is up to. But the universe, spirit, that whole realm, the whole spirit realm, doesn't have ego like us humans are still trying to transcend. So, if you can let go of that constant need for human interaction, human feedback, human guidance, although it can be good stuff, but taking a break and creating some spaciousness in your life to feel and listen to and intuit the guidance of the universe, you'll see how it can be moving you towards yourself. And even if you haven't really been yourself, ever, even if you've just been trying to approximate yourself and failing to be authentic, there's still an opportunity to be yourself if you're willing to let go and if you're willing to change and to discard previous kinds of self-concepts that you've carried with you and so forth. Life can be really easy and just so full of peace and just a simple kind of luscious abundance. And I believe if you want to have a more positive, optimistic view of the universe and of life, then check out this book, Pronoia. And it's a good read. He's a very expressive and literary writer, in terms of the language he uses. It's very rich and it's not dry like a lot of spiritual text can be, kind of, a little like this. But his is like, just really energetic and enjoyable. And I think it can help you to restructure your thinking patterns about how the universe works and learn to trust that it's on your side. Even if no one else in your life is, the universe is on your side, moving you towards authenticity.